this film, and all the films, what I try to do in an almost Hitchcockian sense is use the camera and use the storytelling so that you become the character and you empathize with that point of view. And I think there's a chance to do an almost noir-driven detective version of Batman that is point of view driven in a very, very powerful way that hopefully is going to connect you to what's going on inside of his head and inside of his heart.
Did freaking Matt Reeves just say that we are going to get a noir detective-esque Batman movie? Because if that is the truth, oh my god, we could be getting the best Batman movie we have ever received. Couldn't even control my voice, that's how excited I am. You know what I mean? I can't even control it. Because I'm so, oh my god, when I freaking saw this interview with my own eye holes, I was like, no freaking way. Like, I haven't got to see a lot of Matt Reeves movies, which pisses me off. And I plan on watching the Planet of the Apes movies, and I want to see his directing style. I want to see what he's going to bring to Batman. But just hearing, one, that he is a person who loved Batman growing up. Oh, and by the way, link in the description to that full interview because he says a lot more stuff. I only took the juicy bits, but he does talk about the movie a little bit more. Do check out that interview in full in the link in the description. Watch this video first. But the one thing, you know, he mentioned in the interview was talking about how he was a fan of Batman growing up. And, you know, he wants to make just this point of view movie from Batman, but it can be a very noir detective type movie, and I think that's something that I would love to see, because one thing that gets overshadowed about Batman is his detective skills. He is like the world's greatest detective, and we don't really see that emphasized in a lot of the movies. It's a lot more about like the villains and how crazy they are, and maybe like how crazy they make Batman go, or just like how, you know, he has to overcome a lot of things and just try to figure out these problems, but they never really investigate like the detective side of Batman, like how he knows how to like go through clues and what how he puts the puzzle pieces together. Like, it's just something I would love to see in a movie if it's done right. But at the same time, with that whole noir film, it's basically like a detective movie, like an old school detective movie. I think that would be really awesome to see that, because that was, like, if you've ever read Year One by Frank Miller, which I think is a really great book, you should totally check it out. Like, if they were to do a Batman story like that, that would be really awesome. And it's funny that Matt Reeves actually just said that detective noir thing, because I was listening to the podcast, or it wasn't a podcast, but I was watching one of the videos over on Fat Man on Batman, and the other co-host, Mark Bernardin, a long time ago was talking about how you could make a great Batman movie for cheap. Like, not like super cheap, but like for like $50 million, $60 million, you could make a really great Batman movie. I actually think he said you could make a great Batman movie for like $30 million. Because it's just all detective, like grit and grind kind of stuff. You don't need huge explosions and all this stuff. I mean, Batman kicks ass like just hand to hand. You can just have really awesome fighting sequences without any kind of big explosions. And then, you know, you just need detective and like old school shit. Like the old school stuff you used to see back in like the 50s and 60s. So hearing Matt Reeves talk about having a detective noir Batman type of movie gets me really excited, because I think we can finally get away from what we've expected. Now, granted, I do want Matt Reeves to keep this Batman intact, Zack Snyder's Batman intact, like the badass fighting, just like the style of Bruce Wayne. Like, I hope he keeps that, but then takes a spin and takes that mold of Batman and just makes it better. And that's one thing he's known for. Like, he's able to come into series and just make them better. And so I'm just really excited for this. And it's not much information. Like I said, you can go watch that interview for yourself. I just wanted to talk about what this could mean for this Batman story. And like I said, if they do something like Frank Miller's Year One, that would be really great. Although this is not going to be Year One. But if you've read that story before, you would understand the feel that I'm talking about for this movie. It's also going to be very interesting to see what Matt Reeves is going to do with the villain here, because, you know, the villain is going to be Deathstroke, and we believe from what we've seen with Zack Snyder's teases and stuff, Deathstroke is going to make his first appearance in Justice League. He's probably going to be paid off by Lex Luthor to kill, you know, the Justice League or to kill Batman or something like that. And that's where we're going to first be introduced to Deathstroke. But it's going to be really interesting to see what Deathstroke will be doing in the Batman movie, because what we heard before was it was going to be a movie that was going to take place in Arkham Asylum, and there was going to be a whole bunch of different Batman characters. Now, it does seem at this point that they are rewriting the script, and it's not necessarily going to be what we originally thought. So we can kind of take the Arkham Asylum, you know, idea and throw it out the window. Not saying that it won't happen, but, you know, it's just very possible that Matt Reeves is going to come in and he's going to try to make this movie his own thing. So we don't really know what to expect now. I mean, the premise of a movie taking place in Arkham Asylum sounds really awesome, with a bunch of different Batman villains and maybe Batman having to fight through a whole bunch of like levels to get to Deathstroke. I mean, that sounds exciting as fuck. But you have to ask yourself, how much detective noir could that actually be? That just seems like an action-packed, badass movie. I mean, don't get me wrong, there probably could be a lot of stuff. I mean, Arkham is huge depending on what you're reading, but it always seems like it's a very massive establishment. And, you know, Batman could be trying to solve a bunch of mysteries throughout Arkham to get to Deathstroke. But the way the early like synopsises or like the early rumors of what that movie was going to be just sounded like it was going to be like an action-packed, like just thrill ride. But that's pretty much it, guys. I just wanted to make a quick video about Matt Reeves talking about this whole noir detective thing, because if you guys have been Batman fans for a really long time, or, you know, you are just a fan of the detective Batman stuff, this could be a very different Batman movie that we're going to be getting. And I know I'm hella excited for it, and I can't wait for more news of this to start like coming out. And I don't know, Comic-Con is going to be right around the corner. I don't know if Matt Reeves will be there for the Batman, or if they'll mention anything about the Batman, because this movie is not even really off the ground at all. But it would be pretty cool, and if we are going to get any news about it, look out for San Diego Comic-Con. But that's all I got for you guys. Remember, if you ever want to support this channel, you can check out the Patreon like these awesome people did, or you can always do the OG thing and give this video a like and share with all of your Batman buddies. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for all things nerdy and geeky on this channel. As always, I'm your host, JUICEbox. Remember, when you wake up in the morning, ask yourself something. If I'm a daily dose of juice, see you guys next time. Bye.